Hey guys, this is going to be the start of a new series I'm making for any of you who are just beginning your start with watercolor painting and drawing. And I wanted to introduce some of the very first art supplies that I started out with and experimented with, and I'll give you the pros and cons of what I thought. And then later in another series, I'll show you what I'm using now at the more artist level. But this is great for students, for young ones who are just learning to paint, and anyone who's interested in watercolor. So the first thing in this video I will introduce you to is the paper. We need something to paint on first of all. So I live very close to a Michael's, so I'm not sure if all of you have that, but I know Strathmore is quite a popular brand, and you should be able to find these on Amazon. So these are made out of paper for student grade or beginner grade, and they're 140 pound, and they have two series, a 300 series and a 400 series. The 300 is it's cheaper, and the quality is a little bit less great. And there's also a 400 series, which is a little bit better. But to me personally, I don't see a huge amount of difference. So yeah, in a Michael's, I think this runs around $15.99 Canadian. So that's about $11 for a 9x12. But never ever pay full price when you shop there. That's my motto. I always, when I got these, I went nuts as a beginner, and I started hoarding art supplies. And so I did their buy one, get one free deal. And so basically half price, and I bought a pile of them. And I still have these left, which after painting for quite a while, you can imagine how many pads I had. I can't even remember. I might have bought like 15 or something. I went crazy, but I still use them, even though well, I'll share that later. But for now, the basics, they're made out of wood pulp paper, so not cotton, and they absorb okay. They're very good for a beginner who is just learning how to manipulate the paint on paper. You know, they're excellent for when you're just starting out. And because they're cheaper than something like Arches, you're not going to be so scared about making mistakes and experimenting. And I still use them, not for my finished pieces, but like you can see I have like a scrap here. I'll test, I think this one I have here. I'll do tests of color, you know, where no one will see them except on this video. When I'm painting a good copy of my paintings, I'll test to make sure the color is right before I put it on my good copy. I'll just test it on some scrap like this. So that's also good if you're a little bit past beginner. But for absolute beginners starting out, if you can afford it, I would recommend the 400 because it's a little less frustrating. The reason I say this is because when you start learning to watercolor paint, you're going to possibly make a mistake probably, and you'll learn how to lift the color out by scumbling or scrubbing your brush a bit hard on the paper. Not too hard, but a little bit. And then you take a paper towel and you dab off and lift off the color. These papers, this one does not handle that so well, and you'll start losing the quality of the paper. And this one a little bit, but it's still great for beginners trying it out. So yeah, so both are 140 pound. I also started out with, I can't remember the brand, it might have been Canson, but I don't quote me on it, but it was a 90 pound paper and absolutely frustrating. So the larger the number, the heavier the weight, the more it will withstand abuse. I'll try and show you, like this is a bit thicker, but yeah, oops, is that gonna focus? I can't really tell. But yeah, all in all, I still use these as I'm further down in my watercolor studies, and they did like me well as I was beginning, and I would recommend them, especially if you get them half price. So yeah, please leave any comments or questions below in the comment section, and I'm always trying to keep up with you guys and answer anything you have, and please leave me suggestions of other videos you'd like me to post. Next I'll probably be doing beginner paintbrushes and paints and pens and all kinds of fun things. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a like or a dislike if you didn't like it. And yeah, have a great day, guys.